2K27 is around the corner and we are coming direct with the new change. I'm going to be on camera way more and going to be changing up the content a lot. But today we're doing a deep dive into all the key information as well as just breaking things down in detail for you. If you're looking for the quick fix, go somewhere else. I'm just going to be real with y'all. We're diving deep. We want you to lock in. So go ahead and save this. Get some snacks, lock in with me. Let's do it. First things first, the gameplay reveal came out and it's banging, in my opinion, if you want me to be real with you. It's definitely the typical 2K thing where it's not necessarily raw gameplay and it's a sizzle reel, pretty much highlighting the new features as far as the characters, the updates, different jerseys for different teams, kind of showcasing some of the mechanics. You can see a couple of new animations and very good overall details for the characters in this game. We've come a long way, guys. All right, video games has been around for a long time. 2K has been around for 27 years, and man, shout out to the team for just putting together some fly highlights, you know, some really great passes, some great shots. The world champions Knicks, pretty much just a vibe, in other words. So I love that personally. I love when they put these together. Nothing too crazy, but very good stuff. We'll get into some of this gameplay a little bit later as we break things down. I'll kind of point out a couple things I've seen from some of the escape dribbles, for example. Looking like we're going to have some good escapes this year. Looks like they had some good ones, and some dynamic dunks that you see there. Giannis falling over after he gets a yam. And yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Now let's get into the main point of this video. They did a roadmap teaser, pretty much kind of what to expect on the future reveal, as well as revealing a couple of new key things. And we want to go through that as we go forward so that you guys can understand what exactly it's offering. And to be honest with you, I could make this into 20 videos and then just try to get some views off y'all. But if you real and you rock with me, subscribe, like, and do all that stuff. Because the goal here is to build a connection between us directly instead of just like trying to feed you content on another tip. And hopefully the people that leave comments like, please be a TikTok nah, bro, we out here connecting with the community. All right. So on the website, which I can leave in the description, you can see right here, it talks about the roadmap and it explains that yes, we're locked in with a quick teaser roadmap article. And one of the first things that they mentioned is the community feedback is very important to them. They want to keep it competitive, innovative, and kind of add and enhance popular features is basically what they say. And then this is the biggest news. They're changing the format. If you guys don't know, every year they used to do, like every week they'll talk about one game mode and share some information. This year they're not doing that. This year they're doing a pre-season breakdown, first time ever, where they're revealing everything all in one shot in one day for you when it comes to what, you know, is popping. And this is going to be on August 18th. I most likely will be streaming it. Hopefully they do an event in New York. I'm thinking they will, since they have the license for Rucker. That's another story we'll get into in a minute. It's super amazing to have this, and personally think it's going to be very important, special. Now let's get into gameplay and the things that they did showcase and describe to us. As you can see right here, it's talking about smarter AI. And again, I'm not going to read it in detail, but basically in previous years, if you're new to the game, we basically abuse the AI. And this is every year. This is not nothing new. We'll find a way to abuse them. So what they've said is they're working on ways to make it so that the AI's defense is more impactful, specifically for shot contests. In 2K26, I didn't even do any type of extra moves. I would just catch the ball and shoot it right over the AI and make it every single time and just not care too much about the AI. And this is not the way to play, not the way to think, or not even, you know, good fun, right? So it got abused. Players would always abuse it. and then you basically lose the game. So now they have it so that you can't just spam with a quick jab step and then get open. And the AI will be more contesting on that. So that is critical in my opinion, and it's a good change. And hopefully, we'll see how that works. It's all dependent again on us. Now I want to talk about the improved dunk meter. This is a super sensitive topic. Some people would agree and disagree. People are saying they don't want to have to time their dunks. They just want to be able to hit a button and get a dunk. And the truth is, yeah, that's like a no skill level type of thing. But we're living in 2026 going to 2027. And the truth is, dunks, just like shots, should have some type of skill in them, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just giving people the opportunity to be great and superior, which means that every dunk now is going to be timed. So you can't just magically press a button. You're going to have to time that dunk with the button or with the right stick. I personally use the right stick 99% of the time. So I'm going to be fine, but I do believe it's going to be a learning curve for a lot of people. One of the main things in this topic that they mentioned was that they want to try and make it so that it's more dynamic. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, they said that last year. The truth is, the dynamic that they're explaining is different than last year. They were saying that somebody can contest you last year and change your shot. But this year they're explaining that if you're going up for a dunk and it looks like the meter is very big and someone tries to contest, it's going to get smaller. But if you get past them, it'll grow again. So to me, in other words, honestly, I would have just made the meter very small to begin with. Just like shooting, where my meter is a specific number if I'm wide open. And if somebody's contesting a little bit different, it should be the same. And that's how I feel about it. And it just makes it so that we have better skill gaps as we go forward. And personally, something that I really love. And then they get into the MyPlayer builder. This is critical information. There's going to be 53 badges. Last year, there was only 40. So you're getting 13 extra new badges, and they didn't reveal all of them, but I want to go through the 3 that they have, kind of describe them just a little bit, and then I'm also going to just use gameplay in the background to kind of give you some thoughts and feelings as we go forward for this. So the reason I'm showing the gameplay is because I want you to picture it. So there's one that's called pace, and it's basically increasing the overall sprint speed of the ball handler in all offensive situations. So Lightning Launcher last year was pretty much strictly for specific moves when you're doing like standstills and certain moves that will give you that first boost. This sounds even more intense, and it says it's increasing your overall sprint speed of the ball handler in all offensive situations, meaning you're standing still while you're moving, you do it behind the back. I want to test this, and we got to know like what it really means. Of course, you can speculate and say this is going to be broken. It probably can be something people abuse. As always, in every badge, people will find a way to get the best out of it. So of course, I like to test this stuff, and we'll see. And then there's the second one, which is called Wall Up, and it says it decreases the opponent's shot chance when playing hands up defense. I believe this was a direct implementation because of the issues of 2K26, where you're getting hands up and you're not capable of really having motion. When I play basketball, I used to have one hand down trying to steal the ball, and then sometimes I have the other hand up while I move laterally and I just move in general. And it's worked. It's been very easy to do, and I can contest well while still trying to steal the ball. And in this game, if you have your hands up, you move slower. You're not able to jump at the same time in the right way. There was not a lot of motion, in my opinion, the way the game should have had that. And so I did not like that, in my personal opinion. So this might be the fix. We don't know for sure until we see it for ourselves, but that's going to be interesting. Then last but not least, Flash. It says increase overall movement during transition offense without the ball and defense. So this is the best for point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, specifically because when someone gets a rebound on defense or offense, if you don't have the ball, you're going to be capable of running very fast. Personally, any defensive build I make is going to have Flash to the max. It's just a good way to score or to stop people from scoring on the easy breaks. So I think it's going to be essential. It might just be an easy badge to get if you have enough speed or have something specific. I'm not sure what it is. It is off ball only for both defense and offense, but that is going to be fire in my opinion. And I love it. I think, you know, this is probably one of the best things that happen for the game if they give people better chances, you know, to use it properly and as we go forward. Now, I want to take a second to talk about MyTeam, a very quick breakdown on this and share the news. So the news is Crossplay auction house is official. That means you're going to be capable of locking in and being able to do your thing in there with Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, which is kind of crazy. I think about Nintendo, I'm like, damn, Nintendo's really starting to move up in the next gen world with the Nintendo Switch. I don't have one, so I don't even know. So I might have to get one. Y'all might have to get me one. Somebody send it over. And then they have the fast card transaction, which just makes things smoother, faster, and quicker. To me, it's not that big of a deal. Because I don't play MyTeam too much, but we might try it out. Again, I don't like spending money on that because I feel like it's a gambling, which is a whole nother conversation, which I'm not going to get into in this video. But yeah, one thing I am getting into is MyNBA. It is something when I was younger, it was a mode that I absolutely adored with all my heart. And then you go into the modern day and you're just like, it hasn't been that great. So what they're saying is that they're going to get a back to the basics, meaning they're going to try to enhance and take it to the next level. Okay. So they're going to do a deep dive. They said that they don't want to give away all the details. It's too much to get into at the moment, but they want to share everything that they're doing for that breakdown as they go forward. Now we're going to take a break from this. I want to come back up here and talk about the cap breakers. This is probably one of the most things that I hated of 2K26. Probably despised is the word that I want to use. And it's because I would go and make a build and deal with the BS from this game. And luckily they listened to me after all this time, which you're going to see right here. When I go to my cap breakers, I have to come in here and then see my cap breakers. I can't do it while I'm making the build. And it's probably one of the worst things that has ever happened to me as somebody who literally gets paid for this. You know what I mean? Like I make these builds, I hook you guys up in the leagues and teach people the best overall. Kind of nerdy with this. This is my science right here. And finally, we're going to be able to see the cap breakers before we make them and then do what we got to do to go forward. So to me, that is a W without a shadow of doubt. It's probably one of the best things to hear just in general. It should have been in the game last year. I'm not going to lie to y'all, but that's pretty good that it's getting implemented now. So now I want to get into MyCareer and the city. So here's the thing with this. This is a weird one. I don't know how to feel about this, and y'all can tell me in the comments. People are going to be mad. People are going to love it. Personally, I am not interested in open world 2K, NBA2k. If I want to play an open world game, you know, there's plenty of cool open world games for me to play. Basketball is to play basketball. Ball over everything is the slogan, but it really is not if you're not going to make a good area. So for me, this is great news. Basically, the environment is going to change, and I want to actually showcase a quick look at what the environment is right this very minute. As you can see right here, this is a 3 location area. So you have 1, 2-3 sides, and to show it on the map, this, and this. So this is not changing as far as structure goes, but they said they're going to turn it into a nighttime with neon lights, and I think that's a beautiful thing. The only reason I'm saying it's good is because I don't really give a damn about driving around here at all. For me, it could be all menu. It's not going to make a difference. Just give me all the menus and let me go into the rec. Let me go into Proving Grounds. Let me go into the park on a menu. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. But the fact that this is not getting changed can be a good thing. If they made a giant open world and it was something exaggerating, probably would be very upset right now. But since they're like, hey, by the way, you kind of liked it last year, you're gonna stick to this game plan just because you said you thought it was cool. So that is where my mindset feels really good that they didn't destroy the city to a certain extent. And hopefully, you know, there's still some new fun stuff. They said they're gonna change the structures in the city. They talked about how the rec, Street Kings, the park, and more are going to be different looks from last year. So just expect new ones as you go forward. And speaking of that, the biggest news for me on a personal note, as somebody who's always loved going to Rucker's Park in real life in New York City, it is coming to the game. This is officially the licensed. This takes a lot for them to do. They licensed the park, and for the story mode you can play in there. Story mode is called Fire and Concrete. Then on top of that, in the Street Kings, you're going to be capable of going there and locking in. So here's the thing, I personally think this is the greatest news. Now of course, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I want this in the park. I don't really need it to be sitting here, you know, only in the story and only in Street Kings. Now, what I will mention and kind of showcase here just a little bit, it's very important to know that they do have, these Street Kings are pretty fire. Like you look over here, imagine I'm walking over to the Rucker's Park and I can play in a place that I played in real life. It's gonna be like a dream come true. I remember being a kid, I skipped school. Don't do that, okay, kids? Skip school to go to New York because I wasn't living in New York at the time. And I went to the Ruckers and I bumped into a couple of NBA players, and I might have to do a story about that. And they were just there chilling, just a quick visit. They left fast, and damn, miss playing with them. I couldn't play with them. I'm young. A lot of times they wouldn't let me play unless it was like a dead court and there wasn't no events happening. But I loved just being there. It was just a vibe. So I believe that this is going to be even better. Very cool overall Street Kings feel. Now, again, the only problem I would say, and the feedback that I'll give to the devs, is I'm not interested in the silly bad AI. I need some top tier AI to actually give me a challenge and make life hard on me. You know, like come out with some fire and some flames and really step it up and lock in as we go, is my personal feelings. But yeah, those are the general breakdown of this details that they shared. And I want to kind of go through some of this footage, not just to show you like the visuals, but discuss a couple of things that I seen, some dunks that looked really good, and having legends in the game. You know, also you can see specific signature shots, and you know, Victor Wembanyama, one of the best young guys. I love him to death. Even though I'm a Knicks fan, as y'all know, you gotta give love to Victor. I don't care what anybody says. One of the greatest young kids that we've seen in our time. So really proud of being able to just witness him. Now I want to take a moment to give props to the Knicks, the greatest playoff run you ever seen, by the way. And the main thing I can say about this Sizzler, yes, there's not a lot of content and it needs work, and they gotta do their job as far as giving us raw gameplay so we could really analyze it. But some of the stuff you can see right here is, check this Cade escape, right? Like we use specific escapes to try to get room. I'm liking all of them a little bit. They have some sway to them and some speed from what we're seeing here. Hopefully that stays in the game, and when we play it, it feels fast and fluid. And these are pros, so hopefully that's true. Look at these passes right here, between the legs, behind the back, like between the legs, but backwards pass is crazy. And then you have the jumpers. They're looking really smooth. JB, one of the best in the NBA, and it's just fire so far from what they have. And the one thing I want to mention in this breakdown and stuff like that is, like, I'm not here to promote the game on some like bandwagon pirate, not pirate, parrot. That's what a lot of these people do. I'm telling you my personal passion, my personal love, my personal enjoyment of the NBA every year. Even in the summertime, I love watching the off-season stuff. I love new players coming in trying to take my throne for like my favorite players, like Victor Wembanyama is becoming one of my favorite players. And he's a young kid and he went against my Knicks, but I still love him to death. He was my MVP for last year, in my personal opinion. And when I talk about 2K, I'm not out here acting like it's a perfect game. I just get excited because I got another basketball game, man. It's another day, man. I wake up every morning, thank God for another day, and I thank God for being able to get a cool game that I could enjoy as we go. So just understand that's where my mindset is. And I don't need you to be on that mindset. I don't need you to join me, right? If you feel like you don't like 2K, I promise you, I'm glad you don't. Go play something else. There's a lot of video games. Every week, there's new ones coming out. There's thousands of games coming out a year. So you should be able to just find something you love. Personally, basketball is my favorite. I'm grateful that 2K continues to put in the work. And we're going to keep doing what we do here. I'm going to be covering the NBA a little more on my channel because I just love that a lot. And then we're going to also jump into other avenues and some new things that I want to introduce to the community as we go forward. The main thing I want to say is, August 18th is the big date. I'm assuming, and this is speculations, is that we're getting community day. We're getting all the reveals. Everything that you usually get is all happening that same day, even more so. They're recording all of those segments and then they're going to drop it all on that day while they have community day, entertaining people with the content and things of that nature. And so it's like a double plus. And so it'll be fire. Now, I haven't been the most popular or whatever to get invited to any of that stuff. And I, honestly, this year, I feel like it's my year because they got Rucker in there. When I was a kid, I used to play there. And I just want to go to Rutgers. If they host an event, which is where my mind is, if they now have a license for Rutgers, they're going to have their event over there, which they did last year. I believe they had Alexis over there at one point. I was like, oh, that's dope. But now that they've officially got that license, I think that might be where it's at, guys. Now, you keep in touch and you tell me on my Discord, Twitter, wherever you could find me about the news, if that's true. But we have 2 weeks to find out, right? So let's enjoy it and just celebrate more basketball, more fun. And yes, this video was long because that's how I do it, baby. And hopefully y'all can enjoy. I'm not going to make any promises on how the content's going to come out. I'm not going to be spamming y'all with daily posts. I want to do this proper and I want you guys to enjoy it with me. And let's just make some fun times together in the basketball world. You dig? All right. But take care of yourself. Be good. God bless. Peace. I'm out.